listen to Enthusiast. My name is Christina, and welcome to another Let's Get Reelz review. This is my segment I like to call What's on Netflix, where I tell you what is on Netflix that maybe you've never heard of, or maybe has a low rating. Usually, I review movies. I don't normally review TV shows, but today I really wanted to review a series for you. So I'm going to be reviewing the series The Guild, created by Felicia. It was originally a web series and then it got picked up on Hulu and Netflix, so that is why I'm reviewing it for today's What's on Netflix. The Guild is told through the point of view of the main character of Codex, played by Felicia. She vlogs her adventures of being in a guild for a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. I think that's what it is. And her guild consists of Vork, Zabu, Blades, Tinkerballa, and Clara. Each one of the people in the guild is completely different. Codex is an anxiety-fueled nerd who never gets out of her house. She has a lot of issues. In the first episode, her therapist lets her go. She's fired from her therapist, as she says. And so to get out and kind of experience things, she decides, alright, guildies, let's meet up in person. So they all do meet up. That same day, she gets an unexpected visit from Zabu, who has this massive crush on her, and he just comes and professes his love and moves in with her, but she doesn't reciprocate. She doesn't like Zabu in that way, but he's just so sheltered that he doesn't get it. So Zabu is like the obsessive person, and then you have Bork, who's like the older man in the group, the older person, and he's just completely weird. He's like that guy you would see and just be looking like, oh my god, don't come near me. Clara is really ditzy, and she has a lot of kids, but she completely ignores them. Tinkerballa is just amazing. She is what I would strive to be in life. She does not take anybody's shit. She's really mean, she's very sharp and very fast. So I love Tink, she's just great. And then you have Blades. Blades is the younger kid of the bunch. He's still in high school, but he's always getting himself into some kind of trouble and doing really crazy things. The second season starts with Codex trying to get rid of Zabu, so she has him move in with Bork, and actually Codex gets kicked out of her apartment because Zabu's mom, who was in the first season, is batshit crazy, and she is a real estate somebody or other that has a lot of power, and actually gets Codex kicked out of her apartment that she was in. But in this new apartment complex, she meets this stunt guy, and she really likes him, and it is so funny watching this poor girl be so awkward around a really hot guy and someone that she really wants to try and flirt with. So she talks to Tank and she talks to Clara about what she should do, and it's just all this advice she's getting is just nuts. The server actually goes down for the game for maintenance, and they're left with nothing to do for 4 hours. So the guys get together. Clara actually winds up throwing a huge party at Codex's house because her husband's actually away with the kids, so she's like, yeah, I'm gonna have a good time by myself this weekend, and she just hands out flyers to anybody and invites them over to Codex's house, and the stunt guy, Wade, shows up. And in this season, Codex also finally tells Zabu that she's like, I don't have feelings for you the way you have feelings for me. And in the end, he winds up going off with a girl and really majorly sucking face, and Codex gets a little bit jealous. Blades starts crap with Tank at the end of the season because Tank was using him, and she was having him max out his mom's credit cards, and she made him get all this stuff for her. So to get Tank back, Blades completely wiped out her character. Third season, there is a new expansion pack of their game, so they're waiting online at GameStop, and this other guild, the Axis of Anarchy, which Will Wheaton is a part of, and they cut the line, they screw with the guild, and they actually break the guild up for a while. Vork goes on a soul-searching mission. Tank leaves and she goes off with the Axis of Anarchy for a while. Clara's husband's like, I don't want you playing anymore, we need to do something together. Zabu's off with his new girlfriend, and Blades needs to get a job because he maxed out his mom's credit cards for Tank. Now Codex is made guild leader and she has no idea how to do that. She tries and tries and tries. And then at the end, they've all had enough with the Axis of Anarchy because they've been going back and forth all season long, and they have like a big battle at this internet cafe with a LAN party, and Codex is actually the last one standing, and she beats this Axis of Anarchy. And then she winds up making a big error and sleeping with the head of Axis of Anarchy, Will Wheaton. Fourth season has the guild back together, and Codex's computer starts breaking down, so she turns to Will Wheaton, who she thinks is her boyfriend, but turns out he's like, I'm not into all that relationship stuff. So she's a mess with her computer, she's just a mess with her relationships. Pink and Clara are actually kind of butting heads a little bit, but then they come together and they start selling stuff so that they can make a new guild hall in the game. Because Vork wants to create a guild hall, but it costs some kind of like gamer money. So Tank and Clara come together because they have the same idea for what their guild hall should look like, and they don't want Vork doing it. But unfortunately, Vork gets the money before Tank and Clara can raise it by selling shirts, these specific kind of shirts. And poor Codex is just like a mess. She doesn't know how to feel about Wade, she doesn't know how to feel about Zabu, and you know, like I said, her computer breaks down. She gets a job working at this place with Blades called Cheesy Beards because she needs to get herself a new computer. But Zabu actually comes in and saves the day and gets Codex her new computer. At the end of season 4, the gaming master comes through in their game. He changes the guild hall that Vork had erected, and he creates this world that Clara and Tank had wanted. And he's like, oh yeah, hey guys, why don't you come on over to the gaming convention, and you know, we'll let you play the game and do all kinds of stuff. So season 5, they get to go to the gaming convention and they get to go and play a new version of the game that's coming out soon. And they like it, but Codex finds some flaws in it. She's like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. And the creator of the game actually hears it and he gets like really upset. He just wants to sell the game. He's like really flaky. So then now their goal is to get Floyd, I think his name is. They want him to release the game. They don't want him to sell it to somebody that's going to make it more marketable. They like it that it's their little group and so many other smaller groups playing this game, and it's not like a huge marketing campaign. So by working together, they all stopped Floyd from selling the game, and then Floyd was like, I like you, Codex, come work for me. Season 6 has Codex coming in and working in his office, but he is like, oh, you get this office, you get this, and he's like giving her special treatment. The guy's like really strange. So much other stuff goes on. Vork is just, he's gone batshit crazy, and everybody kind of comes into their own and does their thing, and Sid is finally happy. She has a job now, and she stood her ground, and she's become a better person. Before I started watching The Guild, I had never heard of Felicia Day. I read her book the week before I had started watching The Guild. I honestly had never even heard of her. I just bought her book because I kind of have a small obsession with buying YouTuber books, but I know one of my friends really likes Felicia Day from Supernatural. So I read the book finally because I've had it for a few months, and Felicia Day's book, You're Never Weird on the Internet Almost, is one of the greatest memoirs, one of the best YouTuber books. Just like one of the best books hands down that I have ever read. I really enjoyed it. I think Felicia Day is such a great role model for girls like me who like nerdy stuff, who are into, you know, being passionate about what they like. I'm not necessarily a gamer myself, but I'm very passionate about the things that I do like, such as YouTube, movies, music, and she really took the idea of write what you know and just ran with it and created something totally different and totally inspiring. It's perfect. The Guild is such a perfect show because it shows that all these gamers that are online are not just some guy sitting in their basement. It's an awkward, anxiety-filled girl who wants to be like everybody else, and she wants a relationship, but she's so awkward. There's that girl who is like the pretty one, and she's really smart, she's very quick, she manipulates guys. And you have the ditzy mom who just wants to get away from her kids, doesn't really like her kids or spend time with her husband. You have the older guy who's pretty stereotypical, but you know, like, he's a little bit different. He's not sitting in his mom's basement. And then you have the guy who is like uber passionate and like just crazy and very socially weird because his mom sheltered him. And then you have the young teenager who really some of these games are targeted more towards, but they're all so different. They all lead such different lives. Like, I think it's just great. It just shows that anybody can play games. Any type of person can play games. It doesn't matter who they are. The other thing that I really liked about the Guild is that Codex didn't wind up with a guy at the end. Like, yeah, okay, romance played a little bit of part in this with Will Wheaton's character and all that, but it wasn't like the main thing. And it was just so cute to see a person that I can relate to when it comes to relationships, like being super awkward and all that, and that was so wonderful. And it's very relatable. Like I said, I'm not a gamer, but all the characters were just totally relatable. You totally know every single one of them in real life. I really cannot thank Felicia Day enough for creating the Guild and creating this world. Like, it's the only show that I watched and then immediately watched again. I really enjoyed the Guild so much. It's inspired me creatively, and just to embrace my weird, as Felicia Day says, she has inspired me herself and with the Guild and all she's done, and I really can't thank her enough for that. I love this series. I think it's so fantastic, and I really hope you guys go and watch it. So that was my review / rambling of the Guild. If you like this rambling / review in any way, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. If you have seen the Guild, let me know who your favorite characters, what you think of Codex, Vork, Blades, Clara, Tinkerballa, anybody and everybody, let me know. And if you have any suggestions of what I should watch next for What's on Netflix, please leave them in the comments as well. And if I pick your movie and I watch it and I review it, I will give you a shout out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future What's on Netflix and other movie reviews, because that is what I like to do here. And as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.